You rang, Miss Turner?
Yes.
My favorites.
I've had a little stash in my desk drawer all week.
I've been so busy running around, I haven't had a chance to buy any.
And now you can hear it, and that's it. They can't see us.
Miss Turner,
Yes, ma'am. Are we ready?
do you have everything you need?
I believe so. I have you here on the meeting, so yes, I do.
Okay.
So let's go ahead. It is 7 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. If we could please have Ms. Yothers do the roll call for us.
Mr. Rabowski, Mrs. Turner,
Present.
Mr. Eisner.
Present.
Oh, okay. Mr. Burris. Mr. Burris,
Present.
Miss Rich,
Present.
Mr. Davis,
Present.
Miss Simon.
Present.
All right, thank you so much. So if we may have the quasi judicial announcement and swearing in of the speakers, please.
This is a quasi-judicial proceeding where the Board of Adjustment acts in a quasi-judicial rather than a legislative capacity. At a quasi-judicial hearing, it is not the board's function to make law, but rather to apply law that has already been established. In a quasi-judicial hearing, the board is required by law to make findings of fact based upon the evidence presented at the hearing and apply those findings of fact to previously established criteria contained in the Code of Ordinances in order to make a legal decision regarding the application before it. The board may only consider evidence at this hearing that the law considers competent, substantial, and relevant to the issues. If the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has met the criteria established in the Code of Ordinance, then the board is required by law to find in favor of the applicant. By the same token, if the competent, substantial, and relevant evidence at the hearing demonstrates that the applicant has failed to meet the criteria established in the Code of Ordinance, then the board is required by law to find against the applicant. Are there any members of the board wishing to disclose any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest this evening?
Madam Legal Rep, Erica.
Mhm.
My household is within the mailed notice of this request. However, I'm not a direct neighbor. I just wanted to go on record to say I did receive a postcard of notification due to my close proximity.
Okay. Any other members of the board wishing to disclose any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest? And just so you know, that is not a voting conflict of interest. So, but thank you for the disclosure. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak this evening, if you could please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Great. Thank you very much. So sworn.
Thank you very much. So let's move on to the next item on the agenda, which is application number 20-108, a variance to reduce the required side yard setback and the required total combined side yard setbacks. If we could just mute ourselves. Thank you. And the property location is 1306 Riverside Drive. So now if we may have the staff report, please.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
All right. Oops. Okay. So again, the property is located off of Riverside Drive. It's outlined here in yellow on the screen. The property, as well as all the surrounding property, is located within the R100 zoning district, which is a single-family residential district. The applicants are here today to request a side setback variance to both the minimum side yard setback as well as the total combined side yard setback. Within the R100 district, it requires a minimum 10-foot setback from the side property lines and a minimum 25-foot combined side yard setback. The applicants are proposing a small addition onto the back side of their home, and they're proposing it to be approximately 7.8 feet from the north property line and the total combined side yard setback at just under 16 feet. This is a look at the survey for the property. As I mentioned, there's an existing dwelling on the property. This house was built back in 1973. It is considered a legally non-conforming structure in that it doesn't meet the current 10-foot minimum or 25-foot minimum combined side yard setbacks. At this time, they're requesting to do a small addition on the back side of the house. I outlined it here in red on the screen. It is proposed to be built on an existing concrete pad, and it will be consistent with the existing side setback of the house, which is just under 8 feet to the north. The proposed addition will have no effect to the south property line, so the total combined side yard setback will remain at what it is today, which is just under 16 feet. One thing I'd note is this lot is also considered legally non-conforming in terms of lot width. If this property was platted today, the R100 district would require a minimum 75-foot wide lot. In this case, this lot is only 65 feet wide. This is an overview of your review standards for the variance. Staff has indicated that 4 of the 5 standards have been met, and criteria 3, if strictly enforced, has not been met. However, it is of staff's opinion that this is the minimum variance necessary to construct the addition. It's consistent in scale with the other homes in the surrounding neighborhood, and it's not going to further increase an already legally non-conforming structure due to being constructed the same setback as the current home. Based upon this, staff would recommend approval, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Keen. And do we want to go ahead and ask if the applicant would like to present any information?
No, the applicant does not. We are in agreement with the recommendation.
Thank you very much. So has the secretary, have we received any emails about this application? Anything that's come in since the board packet was posted?
No.
Okay, so seeing none of those, are there any affected parties who are present that would like to speak?
We do not have any public in attendance at this time.
Okay, thank you. So if members of the board, if you would like to ask any questions of the staff or of the applicant, we can open that up, please.
I have a question. The existing slab that you have, is that where you're going to build the addition?
Yes, correct.
What about foundation on that? Do you have a proper foundation on that?
Yes, the foundation was originally poured when the house was built.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boris. Mr. Eisner, anyone else?
I have no questions.
No questions.
All right then, so if there's not any further board discussion or any questions of the applicant, we can close the discussion part of the application process and move to see if there is a motion. Does anyone want to present a motion to approve or deny this application?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a move and a second. So if we could have a roll call on this, please.
Okay. Mr. Davis,
Approve.
Ms. Rich,
Approve.
Mr. Eisner,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Approved.
Mrs. Turner.
Approve. So congratulations, build a beautiful closet. That's what
Thank
do.
you. Thank you. We're so excited. Everybody can come to Spartan Gas.
I just finished a closet addition and renovation myself, so it's quite exciting to have all your clothes there. So I wish you all the best.
Oh, I can't wait.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
I hope yours goes a little faster than mine, though.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Okay, so looks like we don't have any other action items on the agenda. We do have approval of the minutes. So these are the minutes from our meeting of September 30th, 2020. Does anyone have any requested changes or questions about the minutes? Okay, hearing none. So if we can have a motion to approve on this.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If we can have a roll call on it.
Okay, Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Eisner,
Yes.
Mr. Burris,
Yes.
Mrs. Turner.
Yes. All right, so moving on, if we have any staff comments, anything that we need to know today?
I don't have any comments. I don't know if Pat does.
Yes, this is Pat. Sorry, I do not have video for some reason. Just wanted to update the board. If you did not see last evening's Board of Commissioners meeting, there were 5 members of this board up for reappointment, and all 5 were reappointed by the Board of Commissioners. I can give you more detail if you want, or
I know I was one of the 5, so I am appreciative to be able to continue on the board and serving the community. So thank you very much for that.
okay, thanks.
I echo the same sentiment. Thank you.
All right, so if we have no more staff comments, are there any board comments or questions tonight?
Not anything more than you have about 4 or 5 minutes to beat out Chris Zabrowski's
Oh,
record.
I'm competitive, so we're talking fast, buddy.
So you could make this the shortest meeting possible so far.
Absolutely.
I was just curious if staff knew of anything upcoming for November and if that would mean an in-person gathering.
We do have one case scheduled for November. The current situation is that we are assuming we will be going live. We will be trying our first live, well, we'll be doing our first live meeting on Monday night with the Heritage Preservation Board, unless the governor extends his order, which expires on Halloween night at midnight. So right now, I would assume we're going to be live.
I have a question.
In person. We're live, but
I-
yes,
I have a question. The 25th is the day before Thanksgiving. Do we meet as the fourth Wednesday of the month?
no, I believe it's the 18th. Let me check.
The 18th is the third Wednesday.
Yeah, because we're usually, are we the
Yeah.
third or the fourth?
You're usually the last or the fourth, but yeah, your next meeting is scheduled for November 18th.
Thank you.
Good question. Thank you, sir. Okay, so if we have no further questions, let's go ahead and adjourn at 7:12 p.m. record time.
Excellent.
Make sure Mr. Urbowski knows about that.
He's been beaten.
Told
That
you,
was a very
I'm
efficient-
competitive.
Yeah, a very efficient meeting, Jackie. Very efficient.
Woohoo! Crank it out.
Y'all have a good night.